incredible women out there. We have just had the most amazing storm, and what better time to tell you about the Women Empowered Sexuality, Intimacy and Love contributor, Linda Moana. Ladies, you are going to absolutely love this interview. Linda and I talked about so many things, and Linda is so inspiring. She has lived most of her years in Asia and was an extremely successful professional in financial services until she decided one day it wasn't what she wanted anymore. And actually, on the side of that, she'd also just come out of a sexless marriage and decided that what she had learned could help so many other women, and so that's what she's doing now. She is a love and sexuality coach, helping women all over the world to better understand their bodies, to listen to their bodies, to understand their desires and their needs, and take that forward to the world and their relationships, etc., etc. So in our interview, Linda, who is also a certified jade egg expert, we talk about so many things. We talk about the idea of sexuality is something that is being spoken about. People are thinking about it. And if we don't start to have healthy conversations around it, it will leak out in unhealthy ways. I thought this was so really an incredible idea when Linda mentioned this. It will leak out in unhealthy ways if we do not have healthy conversations around it, which is what the Women Empowered Sexuality, Intimacy and Love platform is all about, encouraging healthy communication and conversations around it, both within the platform, through the interview style that we have there, and also taking those insights out and talking to your friends around about it, which is why we always have a two goddess deal, but also talking to your partner, talking to those people that are in your life, filling you up in many ways, and really having open and honest conversations about it before it's too late, which is something that Linda personally experienced herself. We talk about the idea of the false sense of power. Giving your sexuality away to somebody with the wrong intentions creates a false sense of power. And Linda talks about her own personal experience around that. We talk about how she felt so disconnected in her marriage and what that did to her. We also talk about the heart and body, and how the heart and body started to open when she started to connect with her sexuality, and how that happened for her and why it was so important. She talks about how our bodies hold the truth. Our bodies hold the truth. She also talks about the fact that we don't release traumas. And this was such an interesting idea as well. She talks about how animals do release trauma. They shake it off out of the body, but humans don't. We store trauma. And that again is another reason why, again, in the platform it comes up again and again, the importance of diving into the body, connecting with the body, getting out of the mind where the stories are and where we believe things up here that aren't true to the body. So really understanding the body and talking about how we get into and connect with and feel the body, why that is so important. We talk about connecting on the non-verbal level with men and how that can be really powerful and important. She talks about the three brains that we have and why the primal brain is so important. She also talks about the importance of a mother talking to her child about sexuality, and gives an example of how her mother did that and spoke to her about sexuality, but the conversation she was having around sexuality really just made her stop wanting to have sex altogether. And it was almost like a form of contraception, but a really unhealthy way to deal with things, because in the end it bubbled up to the surface and she wasn't able to deal with it the way that she could have if her mother had had open and honest conversations with her about it. We talk about how authentic sexuality is your birthright. Authentic sexuality is your birthright. And the effects of pornography, we also discuss that. Again, that's coming up in many interviews that I have. We talk about the idea of taking away the need to have an orgasm from the sexual experience, or have that be the end goal, and the effect that that can have. That is coming up again and again in many of the interviews that I do. So that's Linda. I mean, ladies, if you haven't got the platform, the link is below. Dive on in. If you do have the platform and you haven't listened to Linda yet, what are you waiting for? So many incredible insights are coming forward from Linda on both sexuality and jade eggs. Ladies, we're waiting for you on the other side with that incredible interview. So I really hope to see you on the Women Empowered and on and inside the Women Empowered Sexuality, Intimacy and Love platform. Thanks so much, ladies. Let's have some conversations around this so that we can keep these topics really, really healthy and at the forefront.